Why are we looking at Raya? Why are Arsenal looking to spend potentially £40 million on what would be potentially a backup goalkeeper? Is he as good as Ramsdale? Is he better than Ramsdale? We're going to talk about all of these things and discuss why I think maybe it's not the greatest idea, but also I want to talk about the positives of it as well. Before we do, though, you're probably noticing this incredible Arsenal bucket hat, the retro shirt, the blue. This actually is Nike era. I kind of miss the Nike era. A friend of mine, this isn't sponsored. This is just a friend of mine that helped me with mods in my FIFA career modes, Merikits, Liam. He has started up a company. He's got a website where he builds these hats using retro shirts. I've actually got this one as well, which I think it's my favorite one. It's just very out there. I decided to wear the blue for this video. But honestly, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could just check out the website, playadvantage.co.uk. You can use MGH10 as well to get yourself 10% off. You can even send in your own shirt. So if there's like a retro shirt you've got sitting around and maybe it doesn't fit you anymore, or maybe there's some damage on it and you just want to get it into a hat, then you can do it. So there's a link down below, playadvantage.co.uk, and I'd really appreciate the support. What a guy, Liam. These are actually awesome. I love it so, so much. But what we're going to do now, guys, is talk about Raya. Why are Arsenal looking to spend what could be a significant chunk of money towards an attacking player or another midfielder, which I think we probably need? Why? So this was broken by Orny. We're all horny for Orny tweets when it comes to your clubs wanting to make some signings. This kind of came out of the blue, but if I remember correctly, it's been years now. It has been years of links to this goalkeeper. Whenever we've looked to sign a new goalkeeper, Raya has always been there. It's always been a name that's been mentioned. He's available this summer with 12 months left on his contract. He's not signing an extension at Brentford. He was strongly linked with Tottenham. More recently, because Tottenham decided he wasn't worth the money, which blows my mind when you need a goalkeeper. I mean, 40 million for someone as good as Raya, it's not bad. I think they probably should have done it. Their new keeper looks a bit dodgy, if you ask me. Vicario, is it? But then Bayern were interested, and that seems to have cooled off a little bit. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Arsenal are looking to bring him in. Now, why is that? Why would we need Raya when we've clearly got a number one right now that is here for the long term? Aaron Ramsdale, since he signed, has had some, I wouldn't say high profile errors, but he's made a few mistakes here and there, and all goalkeepers do. But he's not the finished article. He's still so young, and I love the fact that he seems to be a bit of a leader at the club as well. He's definitely, he's one of the friendly guys that everyone gets on with. You can clearly see that. And, he's English as well, so that's great for the club. And he's a very good goalkeeper with his feet as well. He's very good at playing the ball out. And that's exactly what Raya does as well. The Spanish goalkeeper is known for basically doing what Ramsdale's been doing, and that is building up from the back. He's a good shot stopper. I think part of the reason we've always looked at Raya is because of our goalkeeping coach. He is effectively, Raya is his child in the footballing world. And I think he's always saying, come on, Mikel, just get him. What are the positives of this? Having two extremely good options as goalkeepers is great. And I've got nothing against Matt Turner, by the way. I think Matt Turner is actually a very decent goalkeeper. And this is driving me mad. I need to zoom this in a bit. There you go. A little bit more. Oh, that's better. No, that's awful. It cuts out the... There we go. I really, really appreciate what Matt Turner's done. Every time we've called upon him, he's done quite well. But he's not going to be pushing Ramsdale enough, I don't think. And I think the club knows that eventually we will still need another goalkeeper. And to get a player of Raya's quality it could end up being 35 million. I think Brentford are kind of in an awkward position now. They know they're going to lose him. The longer it goes on, the cheaper he will be, most likely. And I guess Arsenal don't need to do it. I think if the option's there to strike a cheaper deal, it might happen. Now, the focus, for me at least, I think, should be players leaving. I'm not sure what's going on with some of the players that we've got, including Pepe, for example, Cedric. These players that are very clearly not parts of the future. Surely we need to be selling players before buying another player. We've spent over 200 million already. Are we going to drop another 30 to 40 million on Raya? I don't know. The positives are, of course, though, that we could go into all of these competitions next season having two extremely good options in every single position. I think that's a very clear focus that Arteta and the club have. It's not about having a good first 11, it's about having a good first 22. Having two competitively good players, not decent player, great player. I'm talking great player, or great player, superb player. And having that healthy competition in the club, I think, is what pushes clubs forward. If Ramsdale has a bad few games, Raya's there pushing him, and if Raya picks up an injury and we have to use Ramsdale for a bit, vice versa, you're not going to feel that quality hit. When you play a second team goalkeeper, you do feel it. Of course you do. And the confidence of having two players like that, I think it's an exciting prospect. And to think, it wasn't that long ago. I remember we were looking for a goalkeeper forever, and we had Almunia. I remember it so well. Years and years of Almunia, and I was just thinking to myself, when are we going to sign a top goalkeeper? And I remember the Ramsdale links, and I was thinking, Petr Cech just before wasn't the best player for us. He had some good games. He had some stinkers as well. And then you hear we're signing a goalkeeper that's been relegated a bunch of times, that isn't exactly exciting, and he changed everyone's opinions. Most people that didn't really approve of the Ramsdale transfer would now say it was a stroke of genius and he's worth 60, 70, 80 million, whatever. So to suddenly have two, I want to use the word world class, or two words, but I don't know if Ramsdale or Raya are actually world class. I think you're looking at top 5, top 10 goalkeepers to be saying world class, and I think Ramsdale is definitely nearly there. I think he does need to work on some of that decision making. I think he does make the odd mistake. But David Raya, with the experience he's got, he's only 27. Goalkeepers go on till 60 these days. I think it's a good signing if the price is right. But I do wonder how we're going to be able to do all of this without selling players. That is surely the priority. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Bitello. Now, Bitello, haven't heard much about this guy. I heard his name maybe 2 weeks ago. That's the first I ever heard of him, from Gremio. A young Brazilian player. He's 23. He's a central midfielder, can play on the wing as well, right-footed. Not exactly the most physical player, but certainly, he's got the techers. He's Brazilian, right? It seems like this deal could be happening for around the 8 million euros mark, and that could be coming up in the next week. So we're clearly still searching on the market, especially for a midfielder. There's no doubt that Rice has come in and Havertz has come in as well and bolstered up our midfield. And it seems like Partey's here to stay as well. But I do wonder if maybe the likes of Lokonga, El Neni, maybe they're just not quite at the level that we're looking for anymore. El Neni's a great player to have. I know that a lot of the players absolutely adore the guy. I don't know what's happening with Lokonga at all. Then you look at players like Patino. Is he still leaving? I can't imagine that Bitello is that far ahead of someone like Patino, who's already got experience playing in England. But it's still an exciting transfer. I do like these kind of out-of-the-blue signings, and especially when they're young Brazilian players that you've never heard of. Everyone knows Martinelli now, right? Well, guess what? He was 7 million a few seasons ago in the second tier of Brazilian football, and now look at him. He's one of the most expensive wingers in the world. It could happen again. We could get lucky again. So one to watch out for as well. Lastly, I want to talk about this as well. I just realised I'm not showing you. There you go. The Arsene Wenger statue was erected last week. I'm surprised the club didn't make a bit more of a big deal about it, because this is Arsene Wenger. This is, an Arsenal legend that we're finally celebrating in the form of a statue outside, let's face it, the stadium that he built himself. Brick by brick, he was on his knees building the Emirates. Not quite, but what he did throughout his career before the Emirates was built at Arsenal, the Highbury era with him, he effectively got us in such a healthy state financially. Yes, by selling players. Yes, by getting top 4 every season with poor squads. Let's face it. Some of the squads that he did that with, if we had them now, no chance. No chance in a million years. Getting top 4 with Squillaci and But what an absolute legend. And, whilst I still don't think it ended particularly well with Wenger, I do have guilt for not, I guess, appreciating him a little bit more towards the end, because it was so difficult with the results and how we were struggling as a club to let go of something that's been so special. I think it just had to happen. And I think it was a little bit too late. I really wish he had gone a season or two before, but we wouldn't be where we are now. We wouldn't have Arteta maybe. So that's for another conversation. But I'm so happy that Wenger has a statue outside the stadium now. Next time I go to the Emirates, I'm hoping I'll go soon, I will for sure be going and having a look. It's a great statue as well. It looks really realistic. And, oh, God, imagine if it was like the Ronaldo one and the Beckham joke one that, was it James Corden did? Like, I can just see an Arsene Wenger statue looking awful and everyone trolling about it. But, yeah, what a great way to honour the man. Just a quick update video, really, talking about what's happening at the club. Tomorrow, we've got a huge video, guys. It is going to be the career mode deep dive trailer being released by EA. So we're going to be talking all things career mode tomorrow. And keep your eye out for some big signings around football at the moment. There's a lot of names, and there's going to be an update from me soon. We're going to do a transfer roundup video as well. But for now, that's all I've got for you today, and I will see you next time.